Hey everyone, Human Shield 1991 back again with another episode of Pokemon This or That. This is going to be episode 5 of the series, but before we get going, I did want to say I was actually planning on releasing an episode of the Pokemon Blue Randomized Nuzlocke today, but unfortunately, the video was just a very long one, and my computer takes a long time to process it, and I probably wouldn't be able to get it out today. So instead, I'm uploading this, and that should still be a fun one, and you can hopefully expect that video tomorrow. Anywho, for those who are new to the channel or new to the series, Pokemon This or That is pretty simple. I post images of two specific Pokemon, and we decide which one we prefer. The basis of it, the idea of it, is if you're starting a Pokemon journey, which Pokemon would you choose as your partner? Now, this can be because of their appearance, this can be because of their lore, this can be because of their competitive viability, this can be just because of how they're using the base game. This can be based on the anime. Whatever you prefer can be your reasoning why. I do these on Twitter often, and then the video form is compiling several of them and actually giving my take, where I generally don't give my opinion on Twitter. Instead, I like to do it in video form. Additionally, we go over things like their Pokedex entry and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty fun series, and hopefully you enjoy it. If you haven't seen the previous ones, there are 4 prior episodes, and there's a description, or excuse me, there's a playlist in the description with every single episode, plus there's a playlist for every single series I have going, past or present, on this channel. But if you're new, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 65 subscribers by the end of the month. We're very close. We're at 64 now, so who knows? Hopefully we'll get there. Give a bunch of comments. Mostly I want to hear who your picks are, why you pick them, but you can give any kind of comment you want. And without any further ado, let's get going. Alright, first up we have Battle of Grass-type starter Pokemon. First up, it's going to be Trico versus Turtwig. And Trico, the wood gecko Pokemon, the Pokedex from its Pokemon Omega Ruby entry says Trico has small hooks on the bottom of its feet that enable it to scale vertical walls. This Pokemon attacks by slamming foes with its thick tail. 1 feet, 8 inches tall, 11 pounds, and evolves into Grovyle and then Sceptile. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we have Turtwig. And I never know how to pronounce that properly. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that's Turtwig, but I don't know. I feel like I pronounce it weird, the pronunciation at least. Anywho, the tiny leaf Pokemon. Photosynthesis occurs across its body under the sun. The shell on its back is actually hardened soil. 1 feet 4 inches tall, 22.5 pounds, evolves into Grottle and Torterra. Alright, so for this one, I understand that Torterra is probably the more popular choice due to the typing. I believe it's ground and grass, while Sceptile is just grass. But as far as these first stages go, it's actually kind of tough for me. I think Turtwig looks adorable. I mean, you can look at the image right now, and it's a cute little turtle. Definitely adorable. But I do like Trico too, especially because Trico was from that last generation where I had nostalgia. 1 and 2 were my main sources of nostalgia, but Generation 3, I still a little bit. It was my last generation before I kind of fell out from Pokemon. And I definitely like Trico. It's tough. I'll admit it's tough, but I think if I had to pick one, I think I would go with... if Savage Sceptile watches this video, he's going to be very disappointed, but I think I'm going to go with Turtwig. Only because, again, I do like the idea of a ground grass type combo, but also it's a big landmass and it's cool, and turtles are kind of cool, so yeah, that's going to be my pick. I think if I was basing it off practicality, like if the Pokemon were legitimate and real, and I had to choose one, Trico would probably be the smarter pick, because I'm pretty sure Turtwig's evolution is just gigantic, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go with the turtle. Following that, we're going from Gen 1 and Gen 8 doing battle. It's Cantonian Ponyta versus Galarian Ponyta. First up, let's check out Ponyta from Generation 1 from Kanto, the Fire Horse Pokemon. Its hooves are 10 times harder than diamonds. It can trample anything completely flat in little time. 3 feet 3 inches tall, 66 pounds, and evolves into a Rapidash. Next up, we have Galarian Ponyta, who is a Fire Horse Pokemon also, even though they're not fire anymore. The Psychic type. Its hooves are 10 times harder. Oh, it has the same exact. Hold on. I gotta get the right Dex entry. Doesn't really make a lot of sense using that one. Doesn't look like I have an updated Dex entry, unfortunately. I'm sure I could probably find it online, but either way, we know that this one is Galarian, so it's obviously goes into the Galarian Rapidash. And for this, this is tough for me because I think Ponyta and Rapidash are pretty underrated. I never really see people talk about them, except for the Pokemon fan club in Gen 1. But other than that, they're kind of under the radar. And I understand a lot of that could be because they're not super viable competitively. But still, I like them a lot. I think Galarian Ponyta is just a very exciting concept. I love regional forms. Someday I'm going to make a video of PokeThoughts about regional forms. And while it definitely has a little bit of My Little Pony vibes, and I'm not the brony type, so it kind of isn't totally my favorite design in that sense. It's so majestic, and I think it's great. I like both quite a bit. Nostalgia makes me want to go towards Ponyta, but the freshness of Galarian Ponyta is pulling me in that direction. So I'm pretty torn. This one, it kind of just comes down to a flip of a coin. I think I'm going to go with Galarian Ponyta just because it's fresh. But frankly, I don't think you can go wrong with picking either one. And again, like with all of these, let me know in the comment section below who you pick and why. Alright, now back to another starter battle. This time we have fire-type starters, Torchic and Chimchar. Let's start off with Torchic. The Chick-type Pokemon Torchic sticks with its trainer, following behind with unsteady steps. This Pokemon breathes fire of over 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, including fireballs that leave the foe scorched black. 1 feet 4 inches tall, 5.51 pounds, evolves into Combuskin and then Blaziken. There's some classic Gen 3 for you. And then Chimchar, the Chim Pokemon, its fiery rear end is fueled by gas made in its belly. Even rain can't extinguish the fire. 1 feet 8 inches, 13 pounds, evolves into Monferno and then Infernape. For me, I don't know. I know people really love Infernape, and Chimchar is absolutely adorable. I think I have to go with Torchic. I like Blaziken a lot. Even though it's probably my least favorite of the Gen 3 starters. See, I don't know. Generally the fire type is normally my least favorite of the starters. And I think that applies to most generations. It doesn't apply to Generation 2 necessarily. That one's too close to call. I'm pretty sure that definitely applies to Generation 3 and Generation 4. I'd have to think a little bit about 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm pretty sure that applies to 8. Yeah, definitely applies to 8. We'll see. I'm sure I'll do those in the future, and we'll talk about them then. But in general, fire typing is more of my least favorite for starters, so I'm not exactly glued to either one of these. I'm not committed to either one. But I think when push comes to shove, I'd probably go with Torchic, especially knowing that little Chimchar just keeps shooting fire out of its butt because it's got really gassy. That's kind of nasty. Wouldn't really want to smell that, so let's go with Torchic. Although I am interested in what's better in competitive battle, Blaziken or Infernape, because off the top of my head, I have no idea. Next up is the battle you've all been waiting for, Vanillite versus Trubbish. Easily the most popular Pokemon to ever come to the game, right? Alright, let's start with Vanillite, the fresh snow Pokemon. Unable to survive in hot areas, it makes itself comfortable by breathing out air cold enough to cause snow. It burrows into the snow to sleep. 1 feet 4 inches tall. I feel like every Pokemon is 1 feet 4 inches tall. 12 pounds, it evolves into Vanillish and Vanillux. Pretty interesting. And then we have Trubbish, the poison type Pokemon, trash bag Pokemon. Its favorite places are unsanitary ones. If you leave trash lying around, you can even find one of these Pokemon living in your room. 2 feet tall, 68 pounds, and evolves into Garbodor. Alright, now for this one, I know both of these Pokemon get a lot of hate. One is a pile of trash and it gets hate. One is just ice cream and it gets hate. And I get it. But I like Pokemon. You're not going to find many Pokemon I dislike, and I don't dislike either of these either. I understand that people don't like Trubbish very much, but I mean, you could look at Grimer and say it's just sludge, right? So I don't know. I like both. I think both get a little too much hate, but I do understand where the hate stems from. Competitively, I'm guessing Garbodor is the better one, but I don't know. Ice typing, depending on the generation, can be pretty useful. So when it comes right down to it, I have to go with Vanillite. I mean, I like vanilla ice cream. That's the best kind. Fight me on that. Actually, don't. I understand that that's a popular take too, but hey, that's my opinion. Also, tell me your favorite ice cream flavor down below. I know Shiny Tracks just had that as his question of the day. Sorry, Shiny, I'm stealing it. Let me know your favorite ice cream. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Vanillite. Design-wise, I just prefer it. I like both a little bit, but then from a realistic standpoint, I really wouldn't want to have a Trubbish around the house, so that certainly doesn't help matters. Uh, yeah, I'm sticking with it. Vanilla. Alright, last but certainly not least, it's a battle of the water Pokemon starters. First up, we have Piplup, the penguin Pokemon, obviously a water type. It doesn't like to be taken care of. It's difficult to bond with since it won't listen to its trainer. Once again, 1 feet 4 inches tall, 11 pounds, evolves into Prinplup and then Empoleon. Then, of course, we have the infamous Mudkip, the mudfish Pokemon, water type, of course. The fin on Mudkip's head acts as highly sensitive radar. Using this fin to sense movements of water and air, this Pokemon can determine what is taking place around it without using its eyes. 1 feet 4 inches tall, 16 pounds, evolves into Marshtomp and Swampert. Seriously, is every Pokemon like 1 feet 4 inches tall? That's so weird. I never noticed how common that was. But I feel like it's just a constant. Very strange. Regardless, this one is definitely interesting. Definitely interesting, without a doubt. Let's see. If I were to base it on just designs for the starters, Piplup wins for me. It's absolutely adorable. Penguins are adorable. Mudkip's adorable too in its own way, but come on, look at the two. It's night and day. But man, I really don't know. I found this one to be very difficult. Maybe the most difficult of them all. You know, I was torn on several of these, but when it comes to these two, it's really difficult to make a decision. I'm gonna force myself to do so. I mean, this is Pokemon this or that. I can't pick both. That's cheating, as much as I'd like to. Oh, man. I think I like the Mudkip line overall more, but I like Piplup more, so this pains me, but I'm going to go with Mudkip. I'm going to go with Mudkip just because probably familiarity, and I like both designs. I like both families. I like everything about them. So really, I could go either way depending on my mood. But I think I'm going to lean towards Mudkip, mostly because of nostalgia. I'm pretty sure I chose Mudkip as my first starter for Generation 3. Maybe I chose Trico, but I think I chose Mudkip. I definitely didn't choose Torchic, so I can tell you that. Also, it's another case of I wonder who's better competitively of the two. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Alright, and there you have it. Those are my picks for these five different versions of Pokemon This or That in Episode 5. This was probably the hardest one for me overall. I found a lot of these to be very close, where I didn't have a definitive choice one way or the other. Now, I've said many times I do like most, if not all, Pokemon, so it's never necessarily easy, but these ones I definitely found to be closer. Not necessarily because I love them, but sometimes I just like them, so I don't have a definitive choice. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. I want to hear your favorites. I want to hear your picks. I want to hear your thoughts on my picks. If you have any answers to some of the questions I asked, like what is your favorite ice cream, go ahead and answer those. And that should wrap things up. If you don't already follow me on Twitter at HumanShield1991, and please, 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 please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We are sitting at 64 subs. 65 is the goal for the end of June, but if we can hit that early and aim for 70, hey, I'm all about that. This is definitely a community feel, though, so definitely leave comments if you feel comfortable doing so. Obviously, no pressure, but if you like to, I definitely love to engage in conversation. I like to hear people's opinions, and obviously it does help the channel grow, which is a huge bonus. But that's going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for the next episode of the Pokemon Blue Randomized Nuzlocke, which is hopefully coming tomorrow. Until next time, though, have a good one. Later.